Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You, too, could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And good morning, everybody, from the land of the sun. It is a beautiful day for a championship race here in Phoenix, Arizona. Todd Bailing, joined by my other Arizona partners. Well, all except Ed Kaluka, who's back in Wisconsin, where I guess I've been told it's actually been warmer than it has been here in Phoenix, Ed.
Hasn't been too bad. I just hope that the one car could finish the race today as cleanly as the 54 rumored to be taken out didn't happen. Now let's see if the one car is rumored to be taken out if it happens.
Well, everybody's favorite drivers suddenly. And, of course, Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt all joining me down here in the land of the sun. So far, good thing you brought a sweatshirt with you, huh?
That's not bad. It's okay. It's better than we used to up in Wisconsin. They had some pretty good weather, but here they had a lot of rain and wind and everything. We didn't have that down here, so it's just fun hanging out with everybody and good seeing everybody again and ready for the championship race.
Yes, we are. I mean, it's going to be exciting. There's been some really good racing so far already. Yesterday's Xfinity race was outstanding, the second half of it, and the end of the truck race was thrilling, even though it didn't go the way we wanted it. But so far, Phoenix has produced good racing, and a lot of people say that track can't do it, but hopefully it can do it again today.
Isn't it amazing how it doesn't take very long? At some point during the race, the top four guys racing for the championship are the top four in the race. It happened in the trucks. It happened yesterday in Xfinity, and it's just amazing how that all works. But today, there are 5 cars that are in it, not just 4. You have to add Kyle Larson to the mix because he's got a shot at winning the car owner championship instead of the 9 car. That's a possibility, for Hendrick.
Which pays more money, too, if you think about it. Yeah, that the owner's championship pays the money. I was walking through the garage area on Friday, I think it was, and Jesse Saunders was working on his car, and I stopped and talked to him, and I said, well, you guys ready to win your half a championship? He goes, hey, at least we're running for something. And he goes, this is where the money is in the owner's championship. So he says, definitely we're putting our best foot forward for this.
Yeah, we stopped and saw Jesse yesterday, too. The car chief on Kyle Larson's 5 car, a former racer at Madison and all-around good guy from the Madison area. So we're, you got to kind of like that. There's less and less guys that we know that are actually working on these cars anymore. We used to know, 3-4 car chiefs at a time, and we're down to the 1 now, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. That's about it.
Amazing. All right, well, we might as well talk about Martinsville because that was the talk of the week. Yes, it'll be a trivia question someday. Who actually won the race? Well, it was Christopher Bell. By the way, I didn't think Christopher Bell was going to make it past the first round, and here he is in the championship 4. When this guy is painted into a corner, he is absolutely amazing. He has come through it a couple of times now on his way to this Final 4, and he just very well could do it today too. Now, that being said, this week, it came out that there were 2.5 million viewers that watched the Martinsville race live last week on NBC. Since that race is over, the last lap has been shown and viewed over 100 million times on social media. It was the most incredible move in the history of NASCAR, better than the pass in the grass by a long shot. Ross Chastain wall riding last week, and it took everyone by such storm that they didn't know what to say. Literally, is that illegal? Is it legal? Can you do that? What didn't it take? Wouldn't it be a safety issue? Don't you wish there had been a camera in the 11 car trained on the face of Denny Hamlin when that car came by on the outside? It was absolutely fabulous. I don't know. What do you think?
I couldn't believe it. When I watched that, I'll stop and say, I got to see this again, because what did I just, the old, I can't believe what I just saw. That's what it was. I mean, it was, and that sentiment's gone everywhere. That's what a lot of people are the same thing. I mean, even veteran drivers are. Oh
yeah, Brian has got a great story about that.
Yeah, I was sitting talking to Johnny Sauter on Thursday during truck practice, and we were talking about it a little bit, and he says he was in his house, and Penn, his son, came running downstairs and, Dad, you got to see this. You got to see this, He said, yeah, okay. He says he turned it on, and he was stunned by it. And while we're talking about it, Ron Hornaday walks up to talk to Johnny and heard we were talking about it, and he goes, wow, I couldn't believe it either. I thought I had too many beers in me. He says, I had to rewind it and keep looking at it. So, I mean, all these guys, everywhere you go, starting when we got here on Wednesday, all the way through, that has been the talk. And I don't think Ross even grasps how big of a move that was for the sport itself. I mean, he gave it eyes that a lot of people haven't seen before. I mean, anywhere you walk all weekend long, standing on pit road yesterday, a lot of people that aren't true NASCAR fans a long time like we have are talking about, that one car. They don't even know his name, but that one car, what he did the other day.
The buzz.
So, I mean, NASCAR, to think that they'd want to do anything to deter something from that ever happening again would be a huge mistake. I don't know that it'll ever happen again, but it sure helped the sport going into this weekend.
Yeah, it was a buzz, that's for sure. We talked at there was a press conference with the champions there Thursday, and Ross Chastain was telling us that he had 1,000 text messages. How can you get 1,000 phone numbers in the first place in your phone?
He's in the process of answering every one.
Yeah, and he only made it to 400 this week. Yep. It was amazing. Who was that writer that told us that he got booed during introductions?
Matt Weaver.
Oh, Matt Weaver was telling us. Yeah, the esteemed writer for Auto Week. He said in the driver introductions last week, he was booed, and at the end of the race, that place was delirious. They weren't really cheering for Christopher Bell. It's the buzz. Well, that was yesterday. That we'll get to Ty Gibbs later. But oh my God, I'll tell you what. At the end of that race, what a buzz was going on for our watermelon balls. There's going to be a nickname for that guy. Holy cow! How do you think of doing that upshift as you're getting ready to get into the turn? Nobody ever went up into fifth gear until the back stretch of the last lap, and then he let go of the wheel and let the car go and put it to the floor. Who thinks of stuff like that?
He said he learned it on iRacing.
Yeah, from years ago, right, Brian?
Did you see the in-car audio from there? I mean, he was pretty calm. He's just like, I need 2 spots. And they're like, 2 spots? We need? Yeah, get 2 spots. And whoop, on the wall, and away it went.
and the in-car cameras from the other drivers listening to their microphones. And which of the drivers was it? Chase Elliott said, what the hell was that? As he went by. I got to tell you, what a buzz it's made for the sport. It's put extra eyes on the championship. It's done lots for, and of all people to bitch and cry about it was Kyle Larson. Oh, I just don't think that's the what we need for our sport. And what? Wait a minute, didn't he try that once? Where were we? Where the tech? Darlington. Didn't you give it a similar try, put it against the wall, and just but it didn't work.
But no. And I kind of get where he's coming from integrity-wise. You don't want to turn your sport into a joke with riding the walls all the time. If everybody does it, 40 cars trying to do it would be kind of stupid. But you got to give the guy credit that to think of that and to pull that off and then to have it done. You asked the NBC guys, aren't they lucky NASCAR didn't throw a caution, right?
Yeah, I cornered Steve Letarte and Burton after a little bit of a question and answer that they had at a press conference, and I asked them, NASCAR has certainly thrown caution flags for a hell of a lot less than a driver going full bore into the wall on the last lap, and they kind of laughed and looked at each other and said, well, I think they were as surprised as everybody else was, and he really didn't get in anybody's way. He was out. He didn't come up on anybody. He did stop short of ramming the 6 car in the back, which he very well could have done, but and who turned out to be illegal anyway after the race. But it was, it's the buzz, that's for sure. We're going to sneak away and do a break. We certainly are glad you're with us here on Championship Sunday, and we'll be back right after these.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Hey, race fans, Elkhart Lake's Road America Season Pass is now available at early bird pricing for a limited time. The Road America Season Pass makes a great gift for you or the racing fan on your gift list. This special personalized pass includes 50-plus days of racing, including the IndyCar, Superbikes, and more. Hurry and order your Season Pass today at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com or 1-800-365-RACE. Road America, your national park of speed.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Be part of Wisconsin hoops history when AmFam Field plays host to the Brew City Battle November 11th. See the Badgers women face Kansas State, followed by the men against Stanford for the first time at the home of the Brewers. Tickets are on sale now at brewers.com/Badgers.
One of our LTN contributors, Aaron Baird, just posted every angle of the Ross Chastain debacle last week on our Facebook page. If you haven't seen that yet, you probably should. It has been a very active weekend here at the track. Friday, we had a race at 11:30 in the morning local time. It was the ARCA championship, the ARCA West championship, I guess. Sammy Smith, who apparently is a full contact kind of a guy. That's putting it mildly, Brian, isn't it? This guy likes to. It seems like it goes with the Gibbs philosophy these days.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get his philosophy. In ARCA race, I mean, he was racing hard with somebody, and he flat out says, "I ain't taking that bleep," and he just turned him and sent him into the wall. Taylor or Tanner Gray, I get those two mixed up. It was one or the other, and destroyed his race. ARCA parks him for a lap, and his car
at the end of the longest line, 1 lap down, so basically a lap and a half.
Right, and he drove himself back up to about like the 5th spot on the track, still a lap down, but first car to get the lucky dog when ARCA did have a caution. They had a lot of them in that race.
Yeah.
And then he drove back through the field and won it easily. And then yesterday, same thing. You know, Sammy, Sam Mayer is racing him hard, and he just gets irritated with him and turns him too. And how long is that going to last before he gets a message? Because, you know, if he's going to run the Xfinity Series next year, which is what the rumor is where he's going to be, that's not going to stand. You know, you do that to Noah Gragson or some of them other guys a couple too many times, and you're going for a ride, as we've seen this year.
Jake Drew won the ARCA West Championship after Sammy Smith did come back and win the race in the ARCA Series with a very impressive job, actually. Then the truck race was Friday night. Zane Smith won the race and the championship for Front Row Motorsports. Pretty cool for them. Ty Majeski had a truck that was really good in practice, and they made some changes before the race, and I'm not sure they went the right direction.
Let's put it this way. Just one guy made the changes. I don't think he checked with the driver to find out about those changes. Because Joe has taken this truck how many times, is good in practice, and then makes it junk for the race. I'd like to see Ty with a new crew chief next year between you and me.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Ty was a little frustrated, I think, in doing what he had to do to move up late in the race, and just got to the inside of who was that? Was that the 20?
It's inside the 38, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For second place.
Was it? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think kind of lost it. But you got to, they had a shot. I mean, the way that race went on, even though it wasn't really good in the beginning, they got it better. And when it came down to the last stop with the 4 tires, the crew got him out. I mean, he was there in kind of the control seat there to have a shot to do it. And you can't.
Yeah, but he was still too loose at the end, Dan.
Oh. Yeah, he was. It's still. It almost looked like it was one of those deals where, I think Ty learned how this goes. The guys he was racing with have been in the Truck Series a while, and Chandler Smith and Zane Smith, they went right away. They were able to get underneath people, and they knew what to do. And Ty, just from the looks of the stands, like he was just a little timid on some of the moves to make there at the very end, and it got the best of him at the end of it there. But if your truck ain't great, that doesn't help either. But he was pretty fast in the last couple runs there. That his times are as good as any. So, learning experience. First full season. Hopefully, he can move forward with this.
Yeah, I would agree all the way around. Yesterday, the Xfinity Series had their championship. How can you have 4 guys in the championship and everybody in the house got their sights set on taking Ty Gibbs out because, you can't imagine what it's like racing with a guy like that. And he goes ahead and runs the cleanest race of his life and had a dominant car, a dominant performance, came from a couple of spots back late in the race and won it. And take nothing away from the job he did yesterday. If you love him or you hate him, he had a spectacular car, and he drove his ass off and did a great job.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did okay. Now, Ed, do you think he would have finished if this was like maybe 30 years ago?
No way. Mr. Earnhardt would have taken care of this cat a long time ago.
Yeah. They all had their chances to do it, and they just didn't. I mean, it's like they were all waiting to have that spectacular finish at the end. And, when there's about 10 laps to go, I'm thinking, come on, somebody's got to have a wreck. Sam Mayer's running around there with a beat-up car.
Yeah, what was that? He got
taken up by Sammy Smith. But he's running around out there in a beat-up car, and all of a sudden that car's getting a little slower and a little slower. And I think I tapped Dan on the shoulder and said, watch this. And there's like 2 laps to go, and all of a sudden there he is. And there's Mayer racing him hard, but and I think he held him up enough, and I didn't have him on the radio. I'm sure somebody probably told him, now don't screw this up and don't be the story for the next 3 months before you race again. And he let him go. But I just couldn't. I would love to have seen a green-white checker, and a lot of people that say NASCAR's fixed. This goes to show that it's not, because you have a green-white checkered in that race, you're going to have fireworks, and I don't think the 54 comes out winning it, but we just didn't get to that point, and no one ever got close enough.
It dawned on me watching that race yesterday how important it is to that sport, because Joe Gibbs Racing and Junior Racing, they dominate that series. Those cars are the best, by a long shot. They dominate the series, they dominate the races, and they dominate the sport of Xfinity racing. I mean, the Xfinity series. And without them, oh my God, that would look awfully different. You know.
And then as far as Ty Gibbs, he's deserving of a championship. They had a great year. I mean, he's got the talent. He's got 10 wins already, and only 50 starts. And I think he learned a big lesson. We say this every time, and we will hope this is the case for.
There's a lot of lessons he's been learning.
Right. I think the way that everybody was against that deal at Martinsville, and he heard it from all sides. It wasn't just a few people. And I don't
even Grandpa.
I think, yeah.
Yes. Grandpa was out there with an evil eye during Xfinity qualifying, and you seldom see him out there, and he was standing right there with him the whole time.
Arms folded, scowling.
Yep.
There you go. We'll be back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit BonafideSafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
After 4 games on the road, the Milwaukee Admirals return home for a school day game Wednesday against the Chicago Wolves.
Keller stops at the right point, dished it off the trailer. Leonard going to the net, passed it off, and they score!
Pre-game coverage starts at 10 a.m., face-off at 10:30 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Today's race will be shown on NBC, Channel 4 in Milwaukee. The green flag is at 2:37 Central Time today. Perfect weather, mid to upper 70s, 0% chance of rain, sunny. Coverage starts right here on the Big 920 at 1 o'clock. Be sure to tune in. The segments are at lap 60 and 185. I don't know why they have segments in the last race. You're not really worried about points so much.
Everybody other than the 4 are, though, if you think about it. Other than the Final 4, everybody else, the guys that made the playoffs, can still jockey between 16th and 5th position. So if points are big for a lot of those spots, there's a lot of money between those positions.
I guess. I don't know. To me, and nobody ever asked my opinion from NASCAR, I'll tell you, but if you're going to have these segments, I think it's a great idea as long as you don't stop for 10 minutes worth of commercials, which answers the question right there. It's all commercial break. But if they just through the okay, you get the points, keep on racing. I would much prefer that than a commercial break, but that's because I'm not looking for advertising money. A couple of big announcements this week. Jimmy Johnson is coming back as a car owner with Richard Petty GMS Motorsports. That's a pretty big deal. He bought 20% of it, and part of the deal is he's going to race occasionally. They don't have any – I don't think they have any limits. They're talking about 5 races, but that's just a number they pulled up. Daytona looks like it'll be the first one, but, will this mean that – I don't think this will happen myself, but will this mean that Hendrick gives up number 48 so that Jimmy Johnson can take it to Richard Petty?
I wonder, that's the number he made famous. That would be kind of fitting to do that. And you'd have, the 7-time champions
42, 43, 44. I mean, 44 would be it.
It all depends, I think, on Ally Bank. They're the sponsor with the 48 car now, and if they got everything, marketing-wise set to that, they may have some say on that. The Daytona 500, he's going to have to race his way in. There's only 4 open spots, and they won't have a charter for that car.
No, not especially on a part-time thing like that. But it'll be neat to have Jimmy Johnson back in the series once in a while on some of the bigger races. Hey, speaking of,
I'd like to see him in the new car and just see what he could do. We don't know crew chief and all that kind of stuff either. And don't be surprised if there's more races after that. Maybe it's not just the 5 Cup races. Maybe they'll run some other ones in other series like Xfinity or something like that too.
Xfinity, maybe trucks, maybe.
I mean, we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah. We think that what Dan just said might actually happen. There's some other whispers going on down here. One of them, which we find interesting, is that Johnny Sauter might be coming back to the Truck Series full time. Now, it's only a rumor, and Johnny certainly is non-committal at best about it. But where did you hear those whispers anyway, you guys? Did you hear that in the truck garage, did you?
Yeah, right. Probably from the horse's mouth himself, he's very, I think it almost seems like he kind of missed the full-time gig last year, just talking to him about it. And, he's interested in getting back to it again. I mean, he tried to do some super late model stuff this year, and, it didn't end well at Oktoberfest. So that has a sour taste in his mouth. And, his son might go and run some super late model stuff this year as well, but that would be like during the week mostly.
Hang on a second. What son?
His son, Penn.
Penn is, what is he, 12?
13 maybe? Something like that. There's a possibility.
You didn't say super lates, did you?
Yes, super lates. You can't run the Midwest Truck Series full time, so that kind of rules that out. So he's talking about it, and there's some things out there on the table, different teams that are looking for it. I mean, the Young thing this week was basically they brought him in to kind of analyze their program and let them know how it went. And
yeah, this 02 wasn't too good, was it?
No, and we kind of knew that going in, but it's a good group of people, and they're trying, and they got 3 different trucks out there, so he had great things to say about them. They're working hard, just don't have the resources that some of the other teams do. So it'll be interesting. He said he'll definitely let us know if something comes up. So that would be really cool to see him back in there again full time.
And I jumped in right away and said, "Hey, how about the Kyle Busch car?" That I told Brian, and Brian told him about it, and that press conference was already going on.
Yeah, he said, "Yeah, I wasn't invited to that press conference this morning, so that leaves me out."
I kind of shot that one down, huh? Well, whatever he gets in, I think he is smart enough at this point of his career to have a truck that can win or be competitive. And
another one of our drivers out there is Derek Kraus. That's also an open-ended question when you ask them what's going on for next year. I talked to his dad for a while, too, and they don't know. And McAnally kind of up in the air with their funding. It sounds like that Colby Howard that was running their other truck isn't going to be back with them next year, and he brought enough money to run almost 2 teams. So they're also looking for stuff. And, McAnally loves them. Napa loves having Derek there. So we'll see what happens going forward. But, if Derek would have been able to pull off a win, I think that would have helped a lot of things too. And that didn't happen this year, unfortunately. So see what happens going forward with him.
One of the things that you might look for next year, and you're gonna have heard this first here, if it actually happens. I think you should be able to. We should be able to say this is going to happen. But just interesting. Everyone knows that Ty Gibbs is going to be the 4th driver in the stable at Gibbs Racing next year. It's not a surprise, right? We all know this is coming, right? And everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice right now thinks he's going to be in number 18 next year. Don't you? Don't you? You know you do. Well, it turns out the rumor is
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumboCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
MAGA Republicans running for re-election to the Ohio Supreme Court just upheld a near-total abortion ban, sending countless women out of state for care, including cancer patients and a 10-year-old girl. Pat DeWine and Pat Fisher would rather punish women than protect our rights. Vote against MAGA Republican judges Pat DeWine and Pat Fisher.
Paid for by Innovation Ohio and not coordinated with any candidate committee, or party.
That the kid wants his own identity and does not want to race number 18. And then you say, well, what other, 11, 19, 20? No, He's going to take number 54 to the Cup Series next year. And 18 is going to be out there. How's that? So you heard it here first, all right?
Save that one for Sammy Smith down the road.
Oh, God. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, 18 is the flagship number over at Gibbs. Hard to give that up or at least put it on hold for. I'll see if that happens. I mean, Hendrick had the 25, and that's been sitting on the shelf, too. So.
Yep, and that just if they take 48 and give it to Jimmy Johnson, then 25 would be the new number for that team. So just so you know, we already know if then, one of those if then things. There's lots more going on. We'll be back.
Hey, race fans, Elkhart Lake's Road America Season Pass is now available at early bird pricing for a limited time. The Road America Season Pass makes a great gift for you or the racing fan on your gift list. This special personalized pass includes 50-plus days of racing, including the IndyCar, Superbikes, and more. Hurry and order your Season Pass today at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com or 1-800-365-RACE. Road America, your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
They are off and running and heading side by side up to turn number 1.
Championship 4. Head to Phoenix Raceway.
Trouble turn 2. Denny Hamlin breaks loose. He's into the outside retaining wall.
For the opportunity to claim NASCAR's ultimate pride.
He's back now, and now he is a Cup Series champion in 2021.
It's the NASCAR Cup Series Championship.
Sunday, coverage starts at 1 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
I was just looking at our picks earlier this year, who was going to be in the Final Four. We didn't do all that great. All four of us said that that the 5 car was going to be the 9 and the 5. Well, all four of us got the 9 right. Hello, that wasn't too tough. But let's see, the Final Four, I thought the 24 and the 1 were going to be in it. Well, I was right on 2 of my 4 picks. Dan had the 11 car and the 1 car, so he was right on 2. Ed had the 11 and the 24, so he was right on 1 of his 4. And Brian had the 11 and the 22 car. The 11, I'm the only one did not have the 11 car in there. All 3 of you had the 11. But Brian, you also had Joey Logano in the Final Four. So again, we're not all that good at picking them. But you know what? Here we are. It's the final race of the year, and it's the 9 and the 20 and the 1 and the 22 going to race for today. And throw in the 5, Kyle Larson trying for a car owners championship too. Lots of interesting stories.
It's pretty interesting how it's going. I'm not sure how it's going to play out today. I really haven't had a grasp on how if one team is really better than the other. I mean, the 22 and the 9 seem like they're the ones that are the favorites because the way in practice. Yep. And 22 was good on an early 10-lap run, late in a 10-lap run. The 9 got better than that. But the 20 and the 1 are both walk-off guys that have been against the wall a couple times this year and just pulled something out and got it done. So we'll see what happens.
Yep, good Final Four. It'd be interesting all day, and you can expect at one point or another they will be running in the top 4 today because that's the way it's been going. And we might as well just throw in Kyle Larson too because he's racing for something too at the very end. All right, so gentlemen. Last week, I was concerned with the Tyler Reddick thing. He parked it at Martinsville after 188 laps, and I thought we were going to see the same exact thing, and it sounds like it was. He said he didn't feel well, and tell me there's anybody that went, oh my God, I wonder if he has the same dizziness as all those other drivers had from a hit. And it turns out he did. Good God.
Yeah, that was a hard hit he took at Homestead, and then he said he felt fine the whole time after that, and then there was a restart, I believe, and he hit somebody pretty hard.
A little accordion thing.
Yeah, an accordion deal, and he jammed his head, and then he really got headaches. So, again, it's been what we've been talking about for months with these cars, the stiffness of them, the inability for them to give. That energy has to go somewhere, and it's going right into the driver. And hopefully next year this is going to be gone. We won't have to talk about this anymore, but it's concerning because it's every single week it's happening to somebody. And, fortunately, and Tyler, he said he didn't feel well, and I heard that the spotter talk there. They told him, remember, your health is more important than this car. And even Richard Childress was right there. That was kind of cool to see. Here's a driver that's not going to be with that team anymore. And as soon as he came into the garage area, Richard was right there to console him and tell him, hey, it's all right. Your health is the most important thing.
That was cool. Very cool. Ed, there are some changes coming next year, right?
Yeah, they're going to change the back rear clip of the car quite a bit as far as the bumper and some support brackets that go between the fuel cell and the rear clip. So they're going to be easier to fold it up on rear impact, and the same change on the front bumper. Those bumper support brackets that come from the frame to the bumper are just way too rigid, and they're going to adjust those two in front or back.
They had a state of the sport message from the high roller top brass of NASCAR, and what they were saying is, and they tried. Safety was the first issue that they wanted to come out with these cars. They didn't want to have a couple of the issues that they had from a year past, and they, for the most part, they did it. They just didn't figure on the rear clip going to be a problem, and they are very aware that that's an issue, and they're working on it as hard as they can. They can't afford to lose drivers like this, and think about it. We're losing guys, and we can't be losing guys from our sport.
And NASCAR realizes that these are their mistakes, so they're gonna pay for all these changes that are going to be made for the car for next year.
Yeah, amen to that.
And then they also said in that meeting they're going to give the cars more liberty on their bodies in the short track events for aerodynamics. So it should be interesting. Yeah.
Wow, that's unlike NASCAR. That's letting them operate in a gray area, basically, right?
Right, and they're still up in the air about how much horsepower they're going to give the cars in going forward.
Huh. Interesting. This would be a very, very good week to tune in to the Dale Jr. Download. They are going to have Brian France on. Oh, I wonder what kind of questions Dale has the utsnay to ask him, because, boy, there's some pretty tough questions you could ask Brian France. And if he agreed to be on the program, I have a funny feeling he wasn't able to say, you can't ask me about this, and you can't ask me about my drinking and driving and carousing and all the other stuff I've been known for. Well, then why would we want to have you on the show?
It'd be interesting to see what he's got to say. He's kind of been disappeared for, was it 2 years now, 3 years? How long has it been now since he's been, I think?
Yeah, realistically, you want the guy to be able to turn his life around, and hopefully he did that.
It's been since they've been to Phoenix, right? Because I remember watching one of his State of the Sport addresses at Homestead on a Sunday morning. He was sweating his butt off, so it's got to be all of 3-4 years.
The president of the Phoenix Raceway, as you know, Julie Giese, is from Colby, Wisconsin. She is a very, very, good way to put it, she's a go-getter if there's ever been one. She has been named the new president of the Chicago Road Course Racetrack. She has been running back and forth between Chicago and Phoenix, trying to take care of both tracks. And when I asked her earlier last week, have they named a president? She says it's forthcoming. Well, they did it this week. The new track president here is Latasha Cousy, the first black female to ever have any job like this in NASCAR. She is from Phoenix. She's a community development executive. She has a blog called Curlyish Fro. I don't really know what she talks about on that blog, but that's one of those things that you can find on the internet and read what she has to say on a weekly basis. She certainly will be able to tie the Phoenix community in with the racetrack. That's her long suit here, and everybody's hoping that she's anywhere near as good as Julie Giese has been for this racetrack. So best of luck to Latasha here coming in.
Best of luck to Julie. She's got a lot of work to do up in Chicago. That's she gets to be back home a little bit, but that's going to be a challenging event to coordinate, especially, not everybody's all on board with the street course thing. So unfortunately, I have not been able to catch up with her yet this week to talk to her at all about it. It would be nice maybe when we get there.
She's a pretty busy girl this weekend.
Yeah, and usually you see her around quite a bit, but I haven't yet this weekend just to see how everything is going up there.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I was going to say there's a lot of things that have to happen in Chicago, but we'll save that for the off season. We'll be right back.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Hey, race fans, Elkhart Lake's Road America Season Pass is now available at early bird pricing for a limited time. The Road America Season Pass makes a great gift for you or the racing fan on your gift list. This special personalized pass includes 50-plus days of racing, including the IndyCar, Superbikes, and more. Hurry and order your Season Pass today at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com or 1-800-365-RACE. Road America, your national park of speed.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Yes, the big focus on the dirt track world was in Charlotte, North Carolina this week for the big 2022 World Finals. That started Wednesday night. The first night of it, $15,000 to win for the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models. Mikey Marlar picked up the win there in a great race. He got Shane Clanton right at the end to pick up the win there. And the World of Outlaw NOS engineering sprint cars were there. Logan Schuhart picked up Wednesday night's preliminary win. Thursday night, they did it again at Charlotte. Another $15,000 to win for the late models. That went to Tanner English. The sprint cars took the night off, and the big block modifieds were there. Matt Williamson picked up the win there. Also Thursday night over here in Paris, California at the Paris Auto Speedway, the 26th annual Budweiser Oval Nationals for the season finale event for the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Cars. Brady Bacon won that preliminary feature. Friday night back at Charlotte, night number 3 of the World Finals for the sprint cars. Donnie Schatz picked up the win there. And the big block modifieds, Matthew Desjardins, I think that's one of the French Canadians that run in that series, picked up the feature win there. The late models took the night off on Friday. Night number 2 in Paris, California for the Budweiser Oval Nationals. Robert Ballou picked up the sprint car win there. Last night,
Stella Rosa Wines wants to make your holidays a little bit merrier with an extra $500 in your wallet. Enter the Wish Upon a Stella Rosa contest at stellarosa.com/wish for your chance to win. For every winner, Stella Rosa will match a donation to a charity partner. Learn more and enter to win at stellarosa.com/wish. Stella Rosa Wines wishes you a fun and safe holiday season. Please celebrate responsibly.
Celebrate Stella Rosa.
In Casa Grande, Arizona, the grand reopening of the Central Arizona Speedway. The IMCA Modifieds were the feature event. Ricky Thornton Jr. put a modified together, came out here and picked up the win. In the IMCA stock cars, it was Beau Partain. A lot of those big IMCA guys will be heading to Vegas next week for the big duel in the desert. Stockton, California, the 39th annual Kerry Patterson Tribute for the 410 sprint cars. Justin Sanders was your winner. Bill Baylog was there. He finished 4th. In the sprint cars, the 360 sprint cars were the exact same thing. Justin Sanders was your winner, and Bill Baylog finished 4th. So Baylog's been running a couple races out here in California at the end of the season for one of the California racers. I'm not exactly sure who the car owner was. The final night of the Budweiser Oval Nationals for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Cars, $20,000 to win. Brady Bacon picked up the win. Your 2022 USAC champion is Justin Grant. And finally in Charlotte, the final night of the World Finals for the NOS Engine to Drink Sprint Cars, Donnie Schatz was your feature winner. Brad Sweet is your 2022 champion. $25,000 to win for the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models. Jonathan Davenport was your winner. Your 2022 champion is Dennis Erb Jr. He had that locked up a couple weeks ago already. And in the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds, Matt Williamson was your feature winner there. And that is everything we have. Like I said, the big race out here in Vegas is coming up this weekend for the duel in the desert. There'll be big money on the line for the super late models. The modifieds, that's all part of the XR series. So that'll be taking the center stage next week out here on the dirt side.
You mentioned that IMCA race at Casa Grande, Arizona, that Ricky Thornton won. Kenny Schrader was out here in a stock car racing, I understand. And I'm not going to the race with you guys today. By the time I went to buy tickets, it was already sold out. It is the 9th sellout of the year for NASCAR races this year. Congratulations to them. So I've been invited over to Scott Hansen's house, and I understand Kenny Schrader is going to be in attendance there today. So that'll be kind of cool just to sit and hear what they have to say talking about.
To find out what happened to his stock car, because he must have had an issue in the heat race because his name did not show up for the feature. So must have been some problems.
They had the Cars Championship at Caraway Speedway yesterday. That's in Sophia, North Carolina. I don't really understand all these late model divisions they have. I kind of do, and I kind of don't. But they had the late model stocks. Jared Fryer won the race, but Carson Quapple won the championship for the late model stocks in the Cars series. And then they ran the pro late model portion of the program. Austin McDonald was the winner of the race, but Wausau, Wisconsin's own Luke Fenhouse took the championship. You know, he went down there to try something different and, continually move up with his career. He didn't win one race in that Cars series, and yet he came away with the championship. Hey, way to go, kid. That's pretty damn impressive.
I'm sure he finished this week, but his finishes have been like second, third.
Oh, my God. He's second all the time. Yeah, no kidding. Couple other notes. Yesterday was the Hall of Fame induction for the Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame. I'm going to leave Southeast off of there because there's only one Wisconsin Hall of Fame, and that's the one. Congratulations to Noel Kramer, Roger Miller, Steve Sinclair, Terry Tucker, and Slinger Speedway's own David Prunty, the multi-time champion and Slinger Nationals champion. Way to go. Joins his younger brother Dale as the two Prunties that are in the Hall of Fame, putting even more pressure on any other brothers that might still be racing and doing pretty well with their careers. So congratulations to the Prunty family. A great day for all of them, for sure. And happy birthday to the world's oldest teenager. Jerry Eckhart turns 80 years old tomorrow, and the answer is hell yes, he's coming back to race at Slinger next year. There's only one thing going to prevent him from racing at Slinger, and that hasn't happened yet. So happy birthday, Jerry. A fellow Hall of Famer. Pretty cool all the way around. I'm surprised a little bit that we didn't have anybody call today with their opinions on Ross Chastain, but that's fine. We can, there has been so much talked about this week. I would say more than anything else that he has got a lot more and a lot new race fans over what he had before last week's race. So pretty cool all the way around. And I think I hope you guys are there in time for the driver introductions so you can tell us what it's like when Ross Chastain gets introduced. It's going to be the loudest of the whole bunch, I guarantee you. It'll be pretty fun stuff, that's for sure.
I think people just appreciate, what he's done to get here. He didn't come in with a ton of money. He's got money from the watermelon thing, obviously, but he drove subpar equipment for a long time and kept going with it. And when he got a good ride in a decent car, he made his mark, and he ruffled some feathers. Remember, Kevin Harvick was mad at him early on. He's never going to be around here much. Well, he kept
Hamlin.
Yeah, Hamlin. He kept fighting to stay where he's at, and he's here. So
Kyle Busch. A lot of guys. Oh, I got Chastained. Guess what? Chastained took on a whole new meaning after Martinsville, didn't it? Oh, my God. Who's the next one to Chastain it? I don't know. Joey Logano was on the pole today, 134.389 miles per hour. The other drivers will be, fourth place is the 5-car of Kyle Larson. Elliott starts 5th. You got to go down to 17th place for Christopher Bell and 25th place starting position today for the aforementioned Ross Chastain. He's got a lot of ground to make up on a flat 1-mile track. Sometimes that is not the easiest thing to do. I have a funny feeling he's going to be able to make up that space, though. We'll be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Hey, race fans, Elkhart Lake's Road America Season Pass is now available at early bird pricing for a limited time. The Road America Season Pass makes a great gift for you or the racing fan on your gift list. This special personalized pass includes 50-plus days of racing, including the IndyCar, Superbikes, and more. Hurry and order your Season Pass today at RoadAmerica.com. That's RoadAmerica.com or 1-800-365-RACE. Road America, your national park of speed.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
They are off and running and heading side by side up to turn number 1.
Championship 4. Head to Phoenix Raceway.
Trouble turn 2. Denny Hamlin breaks loose. He's into the outside retaining wall.
For the opportunity to claim NASCAR's ultimate pride.
He's back now, and now he is a Cup Series champion in 2021.
It's the NASCAR Cup Series Championship.
Sunday. Coverage starts at 1 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the final segment here on Championship Sunday. Perfect weather It's going to be a race today, that's for sure. They put the stickum. I'm not sure what they call it, Ed. It's not PJ1. Resin. Okay. I guess they didn't use it in turns 1 and 2. It's all in 3 and 4 and the the dog leg portion of the track, apparently, which is what I read, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, resin is a chemical that comes from trees.
Okay, sticky stuff. Ed, the LTN Fantasy League team had a winner, I guess, right?
Yeah, he's got it locked up. He calls himself Mercury Racer. Yeah, he's quite a couple hundred points ahead of anybody else, and he's going to win our Fantasy League. I don't know. Mercury Racer, whoever that is.
Mercury Racer. Okay.
Yeah, with a Ford logo by his name.
Okay.
I ended up 5th. I don't know where Brian and Dan did.
I gave up a long time ago.
Yeah, somewhere in the top 10, I think.
Yeah, I forgot a couple weeks, and it just kind of fell off the charts. But hey, check out the pace car today in today's race. It's a little different wrap on it than we're normally used to. It's actually got M&Ms on it.
How many years? 32 years of M&M Mars sponsorship in NASCAR is pretty significant amount, and the money, hundreds of millions of dollars that they have poured into our sport. That's pretty significant. No matter how you look at it. What's that car look like, Dan?
The car, it's hard to, I don't know if you can see it on TV as well, but if you look up to it, it's a bunch of pictures of a bunch of fans on the wrap on the M&M's 18 car for the last time. I mean, it's a very identifiable car. I mean, for years, it's probably been the favorite of kids. I mean, every kid I've known liked the M&M's car because it just stood out, you know. And
we talked about some of the drivers they had over the years, too, in M&M's. Remember when it used to be number 36 back in the day?
Yeah, and they had, like, Skittles on it. I mean, Ernie Irvin drove it over there. Derek Cope was on it.
Trickle,
and then Sicker's car and the 8 car, and I think it started with Bobby Hillen back in like 1990.
Oh, okay. Hillen, that's right. That was the Stavola brothers car. Yeah, and that was, let's see, the 36 with the Schrader in it was involved in the Earnhardt wreck, right? That was when he was driving that thing.
Over the Yates with the 38 with Sadler and Gilliland were in it.
Oh, geez, that's pretty impressive, no doubt. All right, gentlemen, we're looking at our final picks, and boy, sometimes I wonder if we should just not pick who we don't want to win because we'll be better off. The final 4, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, and Joey Logano. Myself never thought Bell would even make it this far. But, boy, he sure has been good when his back's been against the wall. Same can be said for Ross Chastain. The guy will do absolutely anything, and no matter what. But Joey Logano and Chase Elliott are both former champions, been here before, done what it takes, have we proven to be able to come through in the clutch. Personally, even though I would love to see Ross Chastain win this championship more than any of the 4, I think it's going to be between Chase Elliott and Logano, and I think Joey Logano is going to win today. My voice is cracking because I have a hard time even saying that. What are you guys looking at?
I agree with you, Todd. I'm going to have to go along with that. I mean, they look solid. Joey looks as confident as I've ever seen him. You know, I want to say Chase Elliott, but every time you hear him talk, there's that little, we need to do this better. We need to do that. He just doesn't seem to have the dripping with confidence that you'd expect from him, from a guy that's going to go out and win a championship. I mean, he could, but Joey Logano just seems to be rock solid with it. So I'm picking him and hoping I'm wrong.
I'll go with the 1. I'll take the 1 for the championship. In a year that we never thought anything would happen, the craziest stuff that's gone on, what's the most crazy ending to have some guy smash a watermelon and win a championship? I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney for the race, though. I think Blaney's going to be tough during the race.
This will be the first time then we'll have one of these races where the champion doesn't win the race. That would be interesting.
Well, I agree with Dan that it's going to be someone other than the champion winning the race, but I think it's Kyle Larson to win the race today and win the car owners championship. Ed, it's time to give us those picks.
I'm taking a 1 for the title and a 4 car for the win.
Oh, back to the old Harvick. That would be... I don't even think they plan on having anybody in Ruoff Mortgage Victory Lane today. I mean, they may have to take the barricades down and everything if somebody wins because nobody's been in there all week with the exception of the ARCA race Friday morning.
Brian, all 3 of us, other than you, have taken drivers not in the championship to win the race today.
Yeah, I think Logano's going to do both.
Okay. I figured that's where you were going, but I think you're probably... Can you believe it? Here we're both agreeing on our favorite driver, Joey Logano. But boy, you may not like the guy, but boy, if I had a race car, I sure would like him driving it for me. He sure has the aggression when it counts, and he says all the right things when he gets out of the car, too. Did you notice that?
Yes. Did you also see, for those of you watching it on TV today, there'll be no Steve Letarte on the broadcast?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? He put a tweet out, I guess, Dan, already this morning, right?
Yeah, an emergency appendectomy landed him in the hospital, so he won't be in the booth. He'll be watching from the hospital room, so we'll get better to Steve Letarte. And crazy thing to wait to end the year that way, too.
And Junior wasn't in the booth yesterday. He was on the box for his team, so that was pretty cool, too.
He was on a one-car box because that's who we picked to take out the 54 car in his radio show.
Ed, you're not eating right now, are you?
No, not at all.
Oh my God. This has been an awfully crazy week, that's for sure. And the Ross Chastain move of the entire history of NASCAR, can it be outdone today? Probably not. But the guy could win a championship. We'll see. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Thanks to our LTN contributors, Aaron Baird and Paul Reichert. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. And like we want people to always keep in mind, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey, and for all of us, we appreciate you tuning in on Sunday mornings. Let's have a good, clean race, and may the best car win the championship. We'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You, too, could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.